All right. So thank you so much to joining the What is Coaching call. I'm really excited about this call because I get to do this call with a business partner who has, now become more like a sister. She's a best friend. And so I'm really excited about this call. One thing that we really wanted to do for this call is to really share our experiences collectively, but also share how our journey and our path of leading up to becoming a Beachbody coach, as well as our journey of coming into coaching and our journey as a coach and entrepreneur, how it's really changed. So that's what we're going to really talk about today in the call. So if you have any questions, you can hold off until the very end. We will allow for tons of questions. But for right now, we'll just go ahead and get started and just talk a little bit more about our journey. So your host for today, I'll go and introduce myself really quickly. My name is Allison Tibbs. I'm a 2-star diamond coach with Beachbody. I've been coaching since 2010. So I'm kind of a grandma in terms of Beachbody coaching. Currently live in San Francisco, California. And, just one, thing about me, my favorite thing about Beachbody coaching, or what I really found, is that I really found a way to do something that I love, to work with people that I think are amazing, and that I can work from anywhere and do this job, which doesn't even feel like a job, anywhere. So that's kind of my favorite thing about Beachbody coaching. And I'll let Dava introduce herself.
My name is Dava McKenzie, and I am an Emerald Beachbody coach. I've actually been coaching now for almost 2 years. I started at the end of March of 2014. I currently live in Atlanta, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. I've lived in DC for 11 years, and before that, I was in upstate New York. I will say that one of the things that I love most about coaching is just the doors and the connections that it's opened up. If you know me, or if you are a coach on my team, you know that I am like best friends with everybody who is really plugged into this business. They have, we've created our own little family, and those connections mean the world to me. And also really just finding fulfillment in something that you're doing, because a lot of times, we're on the hamster wheel and we're running that race and trying to get ahead, but it doesn't really make us feel good inside. And now I have something where I feel like I'm giving back and I'm making an impact, and I feel good about it. But we can go ahead and get started with Allison's story a little bit deeper.
Great. Well, before we get started, we'll talk a little bit about Beachbody, the company. And I think that's something that, with Beachbody, the call is talking about, becoming an online health and fitness coach through Beachbody, or as Beachbody as your platform. And, just before we get into our journey, I thought, it's a great idea for us to talk a little bit more about the company first. At the end of the day, Beachbody's overall vision is to help people achieve their goals and enjoy a healthy, fulfilling life. I think Dava and I can both testify to that, and we will talk more about that in a bit. But Beachbody, really does live this vision. And one of their big, missions is to end the trend of obesity. Beachbody is created by a group of people who, they looked around and they saw that our population in the U.S. primarily, that was our main focus at first, was in an epidemic. We were 2 out of 3, or 2/3 of our population was either overweight or obese. We were seeing diabetes shoot through the roof, not just in adults, but also in children. We were seeing a more sedentary lifestyle, and, really seeing that there were so many diseases and illnesses and conditions and things that could be prevented if people would just be healthier and not subscribe to this trend of obesity. So Beachbody really wanted to create a company that really believed in this mission. And they spend millions of dollars to achieve it. And, if you've ever watched infomercial late at night or early in the morning, or if you, flipped open a magazine, a women's health magazine or People magazine, and you've seen, Chalene Johnson or Shaun T or Tony Horton, seen Dr. Oz or Steve Harvey or Tyra Banks or, The View, a lot of these shows, the Beachbody celebrity trainers are on there talking about their programs. If you go into Times Square, you may see a Beachbody program on a Jumbotron. I know now we have radio advertisements. So Beachbody is doing this huge job of putting so much money behind this vision to make sure as many people are around know about these amazing programs and products that are proven to get results, and these supplements that are all natural and actually good for you and are really there to help you to facilitate this process. So Beachbody, has done a great job of doing that. They have great programs and products. They have a great mission, and they do pretty well of getting those programs and products into the hands of other people. However, and that's why we're on this call today, and we're going to talk more about it, is Beachbody needed that human touch. Beachbody needed people, if you think about it this way, Beachbody can spend millions and millions of dollars putting their programs and products on shelves and in stores and online and infomercials. But if people purchase the programs but don't have the support or accountability to actually push play, to use the programs, if they have a question about it, they can have someone they can reach out to and speak to, have a community of other people they can, work out with together and, really come together with, then those programs and products aren't going to really change anyone's lives because they're not being used. And that's where this coaching opportunity really was created. They wanted to have people who were out there who love Beachbody programs and products that were, willing to kind of stand up and stand behind Beachbody and help people get those programs and help them with them and answer questions and motivate them. So that's really what we're here for and why we are so passionate about coaching. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about our story. So for me, I was, for lack of better words, how I got involved with Beachbody, I was an unhealthy, unhappy, and unfulfilled person. I was not taking care of myself. I was eating like crap. I used to be an athlete and a cheerleader, and I stopped doing that when I got to college. And I used to live one semester off of cheesesteaks and mozzarella sticks. Just didn't take care of myself. Once I graduated college, I went to corporate America, and I realized very quickly in that process was that corporate America confirmed that I wasn't meant to be an employee. So on top of me not taking care of myself physically, I was in an environment, a corporate environment, that really left me feeling just so down, depressed, just not happy at all. And I was really frustrated because you can only get 2 weeks of vacation. I didn't feel very valued. I felt stuck and I felt frustrated. And, when you couple not taking care of yourself and then being in a place or an environment or a mindset that doesn't really make you happy, it's like a trickling effect. And for me, I struggled a lot with depression, clinical depression. I, had anxiety. I started developing physical signs from my depression. I had 2 failed suicide attempts. I mean, it really was a really low place for me in my life. And it was just at that point where I knew that everything had to change. And I didn't really know what it looked like or what it was supposed to look like or how to make it happen. But I knew that something had to change. And looking at the way I was living my life and what was going on, that I wanted freedom and I wanted to do something that I was passionate about. And that's really where my journey began, was just that looking at my current state of affairs and saying, there has to be more to life than this. Because if this is all that I have to deal with and all I have to work with, then I don't think I have it in me to live another day in this mess, in this madness. And, my journey took a while to get to that point. But when I found Beachbody, I was really at a point where I needed everything to change. At this point, I was now, I had quit my job at corporate America, and I was doing some marketing consulting on my own and trying to be an entrepreneur that way. And I'll say that it wasn't going as well as I wanted it to go. It wasn't something that was really motivating me or really had me excited. So, on my journey, I got connected with Beachbody through social media. Actually, a woman saw me posting about my meals and my workouts, because that was really my accountability to getting healthy. I was like, you know what? I want to just change. I want to start to do something different. So I started posting on social media. I started posting my meals and my workouts, and just trying to motivate and be a very positive, inspiring person, because I was struggling. So a lot of those motivating posts were to motivate myself, and posting the food was just a way to keep me accountable. So when I got introduced to Beachbody, I was very skeptical. I'm not going to lie. First, I didn't want to be a salesperson, and that was the biggest thing that really resonated with me. At the time, I was seeing a lot of people in other businesses, and they were on social media, and they were adding me to groups and without my permission, and they were, trying to, they were posting links on my Facebook page, and every time I talked to them, they were just trying to like sell me something new, and I just was like, I'm not a salesperson, and I'm really not a salesperson. My very first corporate job, they put me in a sales position, and they very quickly moved me out of it because they realized that sales was not for me. So if being successful as a Beachbody coach requires you to be good at sales, then I definitely would not be where I am today in the company or in my life with that. So that was my first objection. Second, I did not think that this was a real way to be an entrepreneur. And remember, I quit my corporate America job to start my marketing consulting company. And in my mind, that was how you build a business and become an entrepreneur. Unfortunately for me, my marketing company, it dragged me into over $50,000 of debt. It had me working crazier hours than I was working with corporate America, because it was basically just me, and I had some other subcontractors that I would hire on different projects when I needed them. But I wasn't able to. It was a lot. It was a lot of travel, not a lot of sleep. I wasn't really able to eat healthy or take care of myself. When you're, on your own like that, it's lonely and it's stressful. And, my clients would pay me sometimes, it wouldn't pay me. And it just was this big confusing mess of, I quit corporate America because I wanted freedom and I wanted to do this. And I'm stuck in this marketing job or marketing business that is sucking the life out of me. And, but at the same time, I never thought that something like Beachbody could offer me something different. So that was another objection of mine. But, yet again, I'm very happy that I did push through it, because, I can honestly say that I've been able to do a lot more with my life without having to work the crazy, crazy hours that I did in my marketing company, and still make a really good living and income off of that. And then also fear of rejection. That's something that I've struggled with for a long time. I've been in a lot of just pretty bad relationships that really kind of beat me up a bit, and my self-esteem, my self-worth wasn't really where it needed to be. So I was definitely afraid that people would reject me or judge me or make fun of me or alienate me or ostracize me for, being a part of Beachbody and talking about Beachbody programs and products. It really, scared me. But what I will say is that at the end of the day, for me, what really got me to push past my fears and objections was going back to my original place of something needs to change. There has to be more to life than what I'm doing. I felt that way in corporate America, and I felt that way again when I had my own marketing company. So I realized that the two paths that I've currently been on, that was definitely not it. I also knew that I was born with this purpose, and I had this, for me, knowing where I used to be unhealthy, unhappy, unfulfilled, suicidal, low self-esteem, severe depression, I knew that I never wanted anyone else to feel the way that I felt during that dark period in my life. And the fact that I'd overcome all of that and was on this journey of getting healthier and feeling better about myself, that it was up to me to pay it forward. And so that's when I realized that this could be a great opportunity if I allowed it to be. And then I thought about my goals and what I wanted out of life. And, after hearing, doing more research on the company and, even when I first started, I was still skeptical. I'm not going to lie. I was still like, I don't really know about this, but I kind of eventually followed suit and, started really digging into the trainings and doing all the things. And, it really showed me that, I can reach those goals, all those things that I wanted to do and have in my life, it is possible. And I was seeing other people doing it. And it was just really a great opportunity for me to kind of just step out on faith and trust that this was something that could change my life if I allowed it to. And, fast forward, 5.5 years, I really look at this picture. This is a picture, if anyone's ever done the 21-day fix or 21-day fix extreme or chisel and hammer or hammer and chisel. This is Autumn Calabrese. She's the creator of it. So this was last January. I was able to go attend I was, invited. Beachbody paid for me to spend a few days in LA to just work on my leadership skills and get hands-on training and see Beachbody corporate. And it was just kind of their way of saying congratulations for being a leader. I'm a 2-star diamond coach within Beachbody. So that means I've had 6 promotions. And most of those promotions happened within a very short amount of time once I really plugged into the business. And I've been able to have a team that is in the top 10% in the company. So there's over 400,000 coaches, and happy to say that our team, and if you're watching this, and you were invited to this by a coach on our team, then you would be a part of that top, 10 coaches in the company, there. I'm in the best shape of my life at 32 years old. It's crazy to think I have, 6-pack and, all these things that, my 17-year-old self, could only dream about. And I don't say that to brag, right? I say that, my body, I'm so proud of the body that I have because it's one that I worked really hard to get. And it's, it's been a journey, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect by any means. All I'm saying is that Beachbody has allowed me to really just get into the best shape. I'm healthier, I'm happier. So many things have just changed physically for me. Financially stable. I mentioned I was dragged deep down into debt and was able to really get myself back on track to being financially stable and to really be more at a place in my life where I didn't dread my phone ringing, because there was a time when every time my phone rang, I knew it was a bill collector or creditor or someone, looking for payment of something that I couldn't do. And, I don't have those moments anymore. I don't have those moments of I can't do something because of how much it costs. And that's something that I lived a big chunk of my life feeling that way. And it's such an amazing feeling. I'm so grateful that I can do that and have that ability and that freedom. I moved to California, so I'm a Cali girl now, and I love it. I also became a personal trainer, and that really spurred just because, I started doing Beachbody coaching full-time in 2014. And so when you're around fitness and health and wellness and self-care, I thought, what else can I do in this realm? How else can I help more people? So I got certified through the Academy of Sports Medicine. Now I'm actually working on getting my precision nutrition certification, just because I love it. I love this industry, and it's just a way for me to pay it forward. Like I said, I love what I do. I can work from anywhere. And at the end of the day, I'm surrounded by amazing people, and I'm able to make an impact doing what I love. So I'm just so grateful for this opportunity, and, being able to meet people like Dava and other amazing coaches on our team. It really does blow me away to see where I was in debt, unhealthy, unhappy, suicidal, depressed, to where I am now in this great space, and just feeling like I hit the jackpot. I have to pinch myself sometimes, because sometimes I really do question, is this real? And then to know that it doesn't get any better than that. So, for those of you listening, if anything that I said about my story resonated with you, just know that you are definitely in good company, and your life can definitely change from this opportunity. So that's enough about me. I feel like I've been chatting way too much, so I'm going to turn it over to my partner in crime, Dava McKenzie. So go ahead, Dava, and you can take the mic.
I actually just got really emotional thinking about sharing my story, because it's really funny when you look back and think about how far you've come. It's not something, personally, I hate talking about myself, and I really don't like self-reflection too much when it comes to looking at the past, because it really was an unhappy time for me. I've struggled with weight most of my life. I was a tiny little kid, in elementary school, but once I hit puberty, the weight came on, and I was just always a big girl. And by the time I had my daughter, I put on a lot more weight because I'd stopped working. and I had postpartum depression, which just led to me not taking care of myself whatsoever. After I had my daughter, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, which was another, excuse or reason that I just did not take care of myself at all. I was a single mom. I had went through a bad breakup. And I think in this picture, I put on that white and blue dress. And it was the first time I ever struggled to kind of like zip the dress up. So I was like, ooh, maybe we should go check out the scale. And I realized that I was over 300 pounds. And I think from that point forward, I stopped looking at the scale. That was probably the last picture I ever took of myself, because I was genuinely unhappy and depressed with how I was feeling. But at the same time, I knew something had to change. I eventually just got to this point of seeing other people be like skinny and happy and like posting all these selfies on Instagram where I was just like, why can't that be me? I had a friend pass away really suddenly, and he had all of these dreams and destinies planned out for his life, and he was just so talented. And to see him pass at such a young age, it really said to me, you know what, Deva, you owe it to yourself to go after all of your dreams. But there's one thing standing in your way, and it was my weight. There was no way I was going to be able to fulfill the destiny that God had for my life, being the weight I was and being as unhealthy and as unhappy as I was. I was working in PR, and I was really working paycheck to paycheck. And I settled because I was a single mom, and I needed to keep food in my daughter's mouth and a roof over her head and make sure I have health insurance. So let me keep this corporate job and keep my head down and my mouth shut, work 9 to 6 every day. And that was my life. But I was leaving the house at like 7 a.m. in the morning to get my daughter to school by 8, to be in the office by 9. I worked till 6, and more often than not, I was working late, then rushing out the door to get my daughter by 7, home by 8 p.m., and that gave us like maybe 2 hours together. That was not the life I was looking for. I was also on medication. I mentioned I had hypothyroidism. People who have not had a thyroid or a disorder or issue, it's really hard to explain how it feels, but it felt like death. It felt like I was a walking zombie. I had a couple instances where I had to go to the emergency room because my heart rate had dropped so low because of the hypothyroidism. Some days I just couldn't pick up my head off the pillow. I also had a vitamin D deficiency. Both of those things also contribute to depression. So it was all tying together in this genuine feeling of just being tired and depressed, tired in my own skin, tired of feeling sick and tired at this job I didn't like. And then in walks Beachbody, and my coach invited me to a challenge group, and I got plugged in with a 21-day fix. And I had pretty decent results the first time around. I wasn't expecting too much because I did have hypothyroidism, and that makes it harder to lose weight. And being that I was starting at over 300 pounds, I was like, hey, any progress is good progress. I think I may have lost 8 pounds the first time around, but I kept on doing it, and I kept on posting, and I kept on checking in with accountability. And I kept on, encouraging others and inviting more people. Hey, my coach has this challenge group. Come do it with me. It's going to be so much fun. And eventually I lost 50 pounds. And that led to my coach asking me, would you ever consider being a coach like me? And then in walks all of my objections. I at first felt like I did not have the time to be devoting to Beachbody coaching. I didn't want to really add anything to my schedule that was going to take away time from my daughter. As I said, I was working 7 a.m., out the house at 7 a.m., and then wasn't home until 8 p.m. There wasn't a lot of wiggle room to be adding anything to it. But I knew that I needed that money. My budget was already tight. So I thought about, how can I make this work for my schedule? And my coach really outlined everything. And we do this for all our team. And I don't know if she remembers, but Allison led my training group when I first became a coach. And it was honestly the best training I had ever had. like better than any corporate job or any retail job I ever had. They outlined everything you need to do. It was basically a guide that says, do you want to be successful? Here's what you do. Follow steps 1, 2, and 3. And if you can follow steps 1, 2, and 3 and be consistent with it, you can make this work. So I found the time in my schedule to make it work. I cut out things that weren't serving me or my goals or this new purpose that I had for my life. With my budget being already tight, me and my coach, we walked through what I needed to do in my business in order to, one, be covering the cost of my products for Shakeology and the programs, but two, to also make this an income so that I wasn't paying, that I was covering my business service fees, that I was, adding money to my family. So it really took away the budget thing. And by me becoming a coach and getting a discount on the products, it actually saved me a lot of money. Because by being on Shakeology after 4 months, and I will say that everybody's experience with the product is different, but I was able to get off all of my medications. It means I wasn't having to go to the doctor every quarter and having my blood drawn, which honestly was like $30 every single time they wanted to test something. I did not have to pay for my medications. I wasn't addicted to espresso anymore. Working in PR and being stressed out, I was drinking 4 to 6 shots of espresso every day from Starbucks. And if you are a Starbucks fiend, you know how expensive that is. So giving up that habit and adding in the Shakeology actually saved me money in the end. So I went from bleeding money to saving to then earning. And my last objection was really that I wasn't at my goal weight. Like I said, it was over 300 pounds. I think at my heaviest I was probably around 320. And I lost 50, which is awesome, but I was still at 270. Still a big girl. So I felt like, who was going to really want to listen to me if I wasn't at my goal weight? And I'm not really into fitness. I'm not, I don't have Allison Tibbs abs, and I don't want to be a personal trainer. And, I still like pizza and burgers. So what was I supposed to do with that? And in all honesty, I feel like those things have served me so well, because I can say to other people, join me on my journey. Or, you know what, I've been there. I know exactly what you're going through. Or we can talk about ways where you can still enjoy that burger, but still stick to your plan. All of those things work to your advantage when you can frame them correctly. And the not being into fitness thing, honestly, I would still say I'm not into fitness yet. And still, I have a radio show that's geared towards health and fitness. I have dreams of having a plus size apparel line for activewear, and I can see myself having a studio one day. So yeah, in my heart, I'm like, I'm not too into fitness. But that feeling of fulfillment that I get from helping other people is like an addiction. It feels great to help other people. It feels good to make an impact. And that's what's really important. So fast forward those 2 years, and now I am an Emerald Beachbody coach. I am actually going to get my next promotion tomorrow. I am also a success starter, which is one of Beachbody's recognitions for getting your business off the ground and running within your first 3 months, which meant that they gave me a free ticket to attend their coach summit, which was in Nashville last year. And it's basically like a coach conference on steroids. They get all the coaches. I think, Allison, there were like 2,000 or like 5,000 coaches. I forget how many people.
It was a lot of people. A lot of coaches. Like, I think it was like 10,000, 8,000, I think, 8 or 10.
I don't remember. It's going to be more this year, but we took over Nashville and we shut that city down. And we flooded the streets, and it was just so wonderful to be able to get to have that experience, especially as a single mom and, just starting your business. The money doesn't come flooding in right away. So to have them take away that financial burden of attending the conference was such a blessing to me. I'm also a leader on our team. Allison's a 2-star diamond. I am an emerald coach. There is kind of a big gap in ranks. And if you become a coach, we'll go over how all of the ranks work. But at the same time, I'm still able to be a team leader. I lead calls. I partner with Allison. I lead training. I help mentor other coaches. I mentor coaches on my own team. And that really is a boost of confidence for me. I can remember when I was afraid to public speak, and now I get requests to do speeches. And I'm like, sure, no problem, because I have that confidence boost now. I also, as I mentioned, I'm down 50 pounds. It's still a struggle for me. I'm off my thyroid medication, but it's going to be an ongoing thing where if I don't work at it, it's gonna it'll come right back on. So I am able to maintain the no medication through using the Beachbody programs. My favorite is 21 Day Fix. And my favorite Shakeology flavor is now Cafe Latte. In April of last year, I quit my PR job and I started coaching full time. So now I'm able to be home with my daughter every single day. I'm the one who gets her on and off the bus. I'm the one who does homework with her now. I am home to cook dinner and all those wonderful things. I can pop into her classroom when I want to. A couple of weeks ago, I went to the Valentine's Day party, and all her little friends loved seeing me. In May of last year, I was able to chaperone her, not her first field trip, but it was the first one I could chaperone, so it felt like the first one. And all those things I couldn't do before. I'm also a Size Live instructor, and as a plus size woman, I feel like that is just so major to me. When we went to Summit last year, we had a special training with Sean T, and we were me and Allison and a few other of our coach friends were there front row and center right in front of him, learning how to instruct others on this program. As I said, I'm also a radio show host. I host a weekly show called The Power Hour that's geared towards health, fitness, and wellness. And it's one of the top shows on my network. And that just goes to show you one of the doors that have opened for me through the Beachbody platform. It wasn't something that I ever thought I was going to do. I always had a dream of being a radio show host. I never thought it would be about health and fitness, but there was a really big need there, and I was able to fill it. Through Beachbody, I'm also going on my first trip out of the country. I think maybe BuzzFeed has one of those lists of things that you should do before you turn 30. And in May, I turned 30. And I think on that list is getting your passport and using it to go out of the country. So I'm officially getting my passport, and I am going on the Beachbody cruise to the Bahamas and Jamaica in 17 days, and I couldn't be more excited. And then also, Allison said it, she is one of my best friends now. I was like instantly connected to her after I went through coach training. Pretty much everybody on my team is one of my best friends. Even on Allison's team, her coaches are some of my best friends. When anybody joins our team now, I always say, welcome to the family, because we truly are a family and we support each other in that way. And I want people to feel included like a family. And speaking of family, I have had a positive influence on my family and friends. They're one of the big parts of my why is to help my family see that it's possible to get healthy and fit. We were raised on some of these bad habits, but that doesn't mean that you can't get educated and change some of those things going forward. So me being the one to be the voice of reason for them has kind of helped push them in the right direction and give them that kick in the pants that they need.
Perfect. So, it's hopefully that you guys had an opportunity to listen to two totally different approaches and two totally different journeys with Beachbody. But as you can see, we both feel the exact same way. We are grateful for it. We are thankful for the friendships and the opportunities and how we're able to make a difference. And, it's really been life-changing for us on many different levels. And as you're listening to both of our stories, I'm sure that something that either one of us or both of us said, you can resonate to it. And that's why I was so happy to do a combo presentation with Dava, because I think that we just both bring a very different flavor to it, but we both love it dearly. So now let's just talk a little bit about the actual coaching opportunity. You've heard our story. You're probably like, now, so what exactly goes on? What do you do as coaches? Well, as Beachbody coaches, it's our opportunity to inspire and motivate others through our own journey, and we pay it forward. Dava and I both talked about how we've been able to use social media and use other platforms to just share what we're doing and invite other people to join it with us. And when we do that, it's, we also help others to reach their goals. Again, Beachbody was looking for that human touch, people can't get results if they're not doing the programs and products. So that's where we come in to be that role of support and accountability to help them do that. And we do it by connecting our friends, our families, people we meet on social media, in our neighborhoods, at our churches, at our job, strangers on the street, connecting them with Beachbody programs and products, and then helping them with accountability and support. And one way that we do it as a team, on our team, is we really focus on doing online groups as well as in-person groups and working with people one-on-one. No, you don't have to be certified or trained to be a coach. As David said, we have all types of trainings, and Dave will talk more about that with you. And we will just show you how you can really help people. I think people forget that accountability and support are the two most important things that you need when it comes to getting the results you want with health and fitness. Very few people are actually self-motivated. And that's why the health and fitness industry is such a huge industry, because there's so many fads out there and so many quick fixes. And what we do is we try to create a lifestyle. We try to show you through our journey and our support motivation of how to really change your life and make it lasting. And that's really how that goes. And in our trainings, we'll talk more about how to get set up and how to help people and how to run the groups and how to work one-on-one with people and answer all those questions. But I'm sure people are thinking, okay, well, Allison and David, you guys were able to quit your jobs and, work full time. How does that work? Well, pretty much at the end of the day, this is your business. And so that means they're your rules. And depending on what you want to do or how you want to use Beachbody as your vehicle to reach whatever goals you want, there are many different options. You can sign up as a discount coach. We have, coaches that just love Shakeology, and, they don't want to do any sales or anything. They don't want to run groups. They don't want to do any of that stuff, but they just simply I love the programs and products. I love Shakeology. Let me find a way to save some money per month on my Shakeology, as well as any other discounts. When people are looking for discounts on Shakeology, this is a way to go. However, if you're looking to get some income, let's say you have a job already, but you just want to generate a little bit of extra income. You love the products. You've gotten great results with them. You're sharing them with other people. Well, why not, share your experiences and share your journey and get some income and get paid for doing it? That's how another reason why, I think a lot of people become coaches is because a lot of people in our challenge groups, they'll post their before and afters on their personal page, or they'll go to a high school reunion and people say, "You look great. What are you doing?" "Oh, I've been drinking Shakeology and doing the 21-day fix." Well, instead of sending them to Amazon or online to purchase, they can purchase a program or Shakeology through you, and you can get that commission. So, we have some coaches that, like that aspect of just the sharing and, maybe hosting a few groups here and there and, helping get their family fit and healthy and making income that way. You still get the savings, you still get the discount, you still get the commissions, or you still get the discount, but now you're getting some commissions to get some extra income. And then we have some people that say, Allison, Dave, I too want to quit my job or, really go into business for myself. And then we have business builders. And this is those people that are all in, you're not working full-time hours, but you can really get to the point where you're making a full-time income and you're really building a life of freedom for yourself. And this happens when you start to grow a team. So like Dave and myself, we start working with other people. We get them on calls like this, and we help them get integrated into the company, into their business. We get them started. We get them set up. And Beachbody, on top of the discount, on top of the savings, on top of the 25% commissions that you get, Beachbody will also, when you're in this phase, they also start giving you tons of bonuses for building teams and creating more successful coaches. And when your coaches are successful, then you're successful, and Beachbody can reach more people and can hit their goals. So they reward us. It's like a bonus for just helping them reach their mission. And so these are kind of like the three pockets, but no, you can move anywhere in between these. You can, say, I'll start off here, but, maybe things change and now you want to up it a little bit, or you need to make a bit more income to support something new that's coming up, or, there's a whole gambit. But you can really choose where you want to fall and what type of income. And that's one thing that we get kind of squared away at the very beginning. We want to know, what kind of coach do you want to be, so we can give you the right goals and the right strategies to reach those goals. So that's really how that works. And we can go more in the training groups, we go more on compensation. And there's also a really good video if you want more kind of details on the compensation plan. We can send that to you once you get followed up with by the coach who invited you. But David, why don't you tell them what happens as a new coach?
So as a new coach, you automatically get plugged into our 21-day new coach training group. Allison runs one, I run one. These are the groups that I was talking about where I was saying that it is the best training that I have ever had. It tells you exactly what to do if you want to be successful, how to invite, how to be one of the top coaches. And you really learn how to get started with your business and work from the ground up. You also will receive a new coach starter kit. Your coach that invited you will send you a coach manual that really gets into the nitty gritty. And you also get your own website so that you can direct your clients and your customers directly to you. You'll get access to our team environment with a private Facebook group. So again, this is where that family is that I was talking about. You are never alone, and you will have full support from the leaders, from the other coaches. You can ask questions. You can post your frustrations. You can post your celebrations, and we will be there with you every step of the way. We also have weekly corporate training and team training calls. Every Monday, Beachbody Corporate hosts a call that is just spot on training to help you really jumpstart your week on the right note. We get to hear new product announcements, new things that are going on with the business, and this is totally for free every Monday morning. And then we do our team training calls, which starts at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So right after this call, we jump on our team training call. And that's where one of the leaders on our team, one of the diamond coaches, Allison, Deb, myself, sometimes Liz, we will do trainings that are really specialized to our team and what we're going through or what we're struggling with or where we want help. And that's, I feel, some of the best training because it is geared directly to what you want and what you need help with in your business. There are also quarterly live corporate training events. For example, our next Super Saturday is April 2nd, and that is basically like a mini summit for us where all the coaches get together. We get training from corporate, and we get the new product announcements that are being rolled out soon and the new initiatives from the company. So the next thing you should be asking yourself is what's next? I mean, we took care of everything else for you, right? So what you're going to want to do is get in touch with the coach who invited you and follow up. They will more than likely reach out to you. So be ready to answer what did you like most about this call and what additional questions you have. We'll have a chance for questions just after this, but if you want to just specifically ask your coach anything, they will be there for that. Also, think about what you really want to get from this opportunity and how you can help others reach their goals. Are you looking for financial freedom? Do you want to leave your 9 to 5? Are you looking to travel more? Do you want to stay at home with your family? Do you want to pay off debt? Do you just want more accountability for your own goals, et cetera, et cetera? The list goes on, and the potential is really endless. And then also, I really want you to believe that you can do this and know that if you are coachable and just willing to learn and to work hard, you can be successful. Because if I can do this working, my crazy PR job and only really being able to put in an hour at a time, that hour consistently over time will multiply. So really just be willing to work hard and know that you can do it, and we're here for you. So with that, are there any questions? I think, Allison, you can unmute the lines.
Let's see here. Give me 2 seconds.